What's going on? And welcome back to the A Show with the Kings of Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am Justin, here with Meelz. Hey Meelz, I'm a little echoey today. I'm in my new digs.
Hey man, look at that new place, bro.
Yeah,
A house.
a house.
I fear for you.
Well, I've already had to kill a wasp, so I mean, ownership is definitely crazy right now. But yeah, if you hear any echoes, it's because there's literally like nothing set up in my office, but like
Throw something mad far and let me hear.
I'll say yo.
Roman,
but
come back.
but it's cool. I love it here. It's great so far. When I get everything set up,
Have you
I'll
met your
have all my
neighbors?
neighbors are far away from me, so like they're
Oh.
like, they had a party the first night we said they Mexican, so they had like an all nighter.
Oh,
They
I
had
was about to say, I was like, you in the hills? What the fuck?
they pulled an all nighter. Well, I mean, we in the valley, but like they was just like it was like I could see the party, like the name of the party in the like they had it in balloons. The name of the party was like Blackout or Blackjack or something like that. And I was like, yo, they about to go crazy, and they did till like 2-3 a.m. But I was like, it's cool. Let them do their thing.
We're not alone this episode though. You probably heard the ad libs, the laughing.
Of course not. Of course, we're not not alone. We got somebody that, and again, I gotta say, there he used to have a show on our network called RAOP Gaming, and the intro to that show, I think about it at least twice a month, and it's like the greatest intro I've ever heard. But of course, you heard him already. The host of Random Acts of Podcast, one of the the most self-made people, just got it out the mud in terms of this podcast audio shit in the world. A really good friend of mine, Amp. What's going on, Amp?
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all, brothers.
Oh my god.
Shout out Tony Khan, bro. Duval OG. Well, what's good with
Oh,
y'all, brothers?
OG, what? Nah.
Yeah, we stamped them, bro. You can't take that away from them.
Oh my god, what's going on, Am? How you feeling, bro?
I'm doing good.
It's a great day to be alive. A great week to be alive. How about that, man?
Yeah,
It's great.
definitely.
First of all, definitely want to give you your props for everything you've done with the podcast game. And then also, you're the one who taught us, like, not taught us, but I feel like you've given us several jewels among the years of like, one, like, yo, you can use Google Video to record a podcast. And we were like, what? Because we were doing it on the phone. And then you were like, oh, the shit. Because I think Google Video was like, yeah, we're closing up shop. We're not doing this shit no more. This was pre-pandemic, by the way.
Yeah.
And then you were like, oh, why don't you guys use StreamYard? And then we used StreamYard. And then after a while, StreamYard just started to go, blah, 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 like, because it doesn't use any local audio or anything like that. So it just was like, if our connection's bad, we just sound bad.
They just added that like two months ago.
Bro, I tell them to add so many. I like using StreamYard, and they're actually quite responsive when you actually give them like critiques and stuff like that. Even though it's like, I think it's a crime to have to pay that much for 1080p. I was like, why is this
it like $50? Like, yeah,
it's like, but
yeah,
I feel like it's the highest tiers. I'm like, bro, what? Step it up, 4K. You know what I'm saying?
4K is just so expensive for them to hold in their servers, though. Like
I guess
I saw a clip of somebody, I forgot his name. He's like a content creator. He was showing people how much it costs Twitch to actually host 4K video and 1080K video. It's like 4K, like literally $4,000 per hour. And then, like, you have people doing 11-12 hour streams. Like, that's why they're not making no money.
Damn.
Yeah, just look at StreamYard. Look at their logo, that duck. That shit look poor as hell. They not spending no money.
And then just like for, you just done so well for yourself. I'm very, very happy for you and proud of you, bro.
Appreciate that.
Of course, man. With that said, we got quite a week to talk about. But the first thing, I feel like we'd be remiss by just daily events if we didn't talk about what just happened a few hours ago with this Kendrick track.
Mm-hmm.
that came out called Euphoria.
Yep.
It is the response. It is kind of sick to drop it Tuesday morning. But I have like two quick thoughts. If anyone else has quick thoughts, please feel free to share. I don't know if I'm bugging, but you can tell me if I'm bugging. My first quick thought is, if a diss track is 6 minutes long in 2024, you better end the person you're talking about. It better be, you better end them. You have more than enough audio value to keep 6 minutes of attention of ours just in general. When you look through any playlist and the average song is like 2.5 minutes long, to add 4 more minutes to that, it better be the end. Like, you better have eviscerated them off the face of the planet.
Right.
I don't know if anyone else shares that opinion, but it just
No, you cooking, keep going.
Yeah, I agree.
Second one, I think people, like they did with the Like That record, I think people have written off Drake once again, forgetting how much of a sicko Drake actually is.
You were one of the first people that said that, and then Push Ups dropped, and then Taylor Made dropped, and you were just like, I told you.
Yeah, but I'm just like, bro, he's a sick. But I'm also like, energy wins beefs.
Mm-hmm.
Not words do, but kind of like ultimately energy in any kind of competition, especially when it's like hip hop. I feel like energy wins the beef. So I feel like if he comes crazy next time, I feel like we're gonna dub him the winner. But I don't know. What are you guys' early thoughts on this very Euphoria record? Lots of entendres.
Me personally, it really don't matter what like the perception is, because everybody done made their mind up on the timeline. If you look at the timeline, everybody just saying it's over. Drake is done. I'm seeing people saying Drake got to respond at 2 p.m. What is it, like 1:54? And they're saying like he need to respond 2 p.m. And I'm like, last week y'all was saying Kendrick could take his time because he threw the first shot. They said whoever throw the first punch is who's in control of the beef. So you was like, oh, Kendrick could take the time all the time. Now Drake has to respond in 2 hours. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, at the end of the day, I just want to hear the tracks, because everybody got their mind made up on who won already. So it is what it is.
You said
also,
it yourself.
I actually listened to the song 3 times. It's 6 minutes, but it doesn't feel like 6 minutes. I actually like the song. I didn't like the beginning with the whole spoken word shit, but when the beat dropped, the song is actually pretty good.
Yeah, you said it yourself too, Amp, on Twitter. Like the goalpost is in Pluto. Like,
oh yeah.
The goalposts are very far up, and I think that and again, like 2001, Jay and Nas was like the biggest. That was the biggest beef I was ever, you know what I'm saying, I had ever seen to that point. I was too young, you know what I'm saying, to get the gravity of what Biggie and Pac was. But like this is the biggest one we've seen in this decade, right?
Yeah.
I feel like it's just has social media made this worse to be a part of this time?
Yeah, they made it corny.
Yeah, like social media's made it worse to be a part of this time. And I think when this happens, it's just like, all right, well, then he should probably just never respond. Then I guess, you know what I mean? Because I mean, the people don't want the actual back and forth. They just want one person to throw a nuclear bomb and then it's over. You know what I mean? Like they want this to come out, and then everything else is you know, we're not reevaluating what those records were. And I feel like Euphoria is a really good record. I don't know if it's better than Taylor Made. I think Taylor Made was I think it mixed humor with just like biting truth. You know what I mean? And this, here's the thing about the 6 minute thing. It doesn't feel like 6 minutes, right? However, I think it starts to get lost at the 5 minute mark. It's just kind of like, all right, well, what else? You know what I mean? What else? I think that like it's definitely like it gets lost in itself. I feel like it's just way too long, in that sense. But again, it's like no one's over. It's 15 years in the game, and I think really what we should be looking at is these new rappers that have nothing like this to get us excited for, like at all. Like that's my problem with it. Like after this, then what? Then what? Like you want to see Drake or Kendrick eradicated on either side? Then what? Then what happens?
Yeah, it's nothing left.
Yeah, like music is boring. Music is boring after that. Music's been boring. You know what I'm saying?
He did not have to take that shot at Gunner. Also, why he did that?
The Gunner shot
Leave
is
Gunner alone. That was corny.
yeah, that was super corny. The Gunner shot was corny, bro. And the thing is, like, Gunner can't even really say nothing because he live in LA and he can't. You know what I'm saying? He don't want to break them ties, but it's like that was weird. That was really weird.
But that's kind of all I wanted to talk. I know we're gonna everybody's gonna talk about it on respective podcasts. Please listen to RAOP podcast.
Yeah.
Please
Hold on.
listen to.
Before we move on, I gotta state this: the
Okay.
whole Drake not being black discourse people doing is very nasty, and I
Yeah,
wish we didn't go pivot to that, but it is what it is.
yeah.
No, you're right. Actually, that was one of my. I guess I was missing that point. I was like, bro,
Yeah.
where are we going with
That's
this?
nasty. Let's not do this.
And the thing is like, especially like, and I hate to get like soapboxy, like not in this time. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
not in this time that we're
Yeah.
in. Like it
Add
might
in the
have,
vision.
yeah, like it might have worked like 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? That might have been funny, but like that's whack, bro. Like come on, if you do that and then question J. Cole, if you do that and question all these people, like the world is, the makeup of the world is changing. You know what I'm saying? And like these, you know, this is what people wanted. It was, you know what I'm saying, stuff like this. So it's like, I don't know, like turning it into a civil war is crazy. I just say that, like it should not be that way. And again, like I think that's what's making the social media aspect of this way more corny because no one's willing to have a measured conversation about it, and no one's
Yeah.
willing to actually say this is whack without feeling like they're attacked for saying something like that.
Yeah.
No, it's kind of weird. I feel like I'm like, damn. Just because his mom's white and his dad's black, like clearly he's part black. Like this is why Caleb Braxton be going off on Twitter on everybody.
The son stuff too was weird. I'm like, we ain't even never seen your son. So what are you talking about?
I don't even know if that's your son on the album cover. You know what I'm saying? I was like, that could have been any baby. You know what I'm saying? We don't even actually know. So it is what it is. I was. This beef is a lot. Listen to RAOP. Listen to RAO podcast. Listen to the Black Print. Listen to more of the A Show. To be honest with you, shit. With that said, we got a lot to go over this week. Actually, it's not a lot to go over this week, but it's a pay-per-view week. It's a PLE week. Ooh, what am I saying? I'm the police using PLE. Hold up. It's a PLE week. Backlash France.
Yeah.
We're gonna have the predictions for that a little bit later.
Oh boy.
But this card this card to me is very like here's how I feel like the trade-off for the card is. I feel like American pay-per-views, we only gonna get 5 at least a year. North American pay-per-views, we're gonna get 5. But they're gonna be the most stacked 5 pay-per-views that you're ever gonna see. And then the international pay-per-views, you might get your favorite wrestler on the year. You know what I'm saying? Like you might get, if you're a Braun Strowman fan, you just kind of fucked up. You know what I'm saying? You just kind of lost.
To be fair, they only go wild when it's an international market they haven't been to in a minute.
Ouch.
Like Saudi, they be going crazy for Saudi. The last Saudi show, they went crazy for them.
10 million? I mean, 20. Well, I don't even know how much it is every time they go there. But that, yeah, no, for sure. But other shows like Backlash France, Australia, I would be looking at the card. I'm like, okay.
It's not to say that the show was gonna be bad, but it feels good that after Mania, like the emotional roller coaster Mania was, that we get a more subdued and chill show, and I think that's fine.
Are you into this 1 p.m. PLE that we got, Amp?
Yeah, I don't mind it at all. The 1 p.m. on Saturday, as long as they don't do no more. What was that last one? Which one was that? That was like 5 a.m.
Elimination Chamber.
Hey, I was talking shit. I was like, hell no, I ain't gonna be up. I was up watching that shit every second of it. So it don't even matter, man. They could have a pay-per-view at like 1 a.m. I'm watching that shit. Especially when you're watching that Japan shit at like 3 a.m. I watch WWE at whatever time it's come on.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. It's funny. But oh my god. All right. So we got quite a bit to talk about. I think we got a bit to talk about. We're gonna do the no holds barred section. The entire show is gonna be free this week. Shout out to everybody listening. Shout out to everyone who support us. Shout out to everyone on Patreon. Again, the whole show for free this week. But we gotta start off with no holds barred. And the thing we got to start off with no holds barred is the WWE Draft. It happened, or did it?
Listen, I've seen what you've been saying, and I think that it's fair for you to say that for SmackDown. I think Raw was like had some like whoa moments on Monday.
Go ahead, Am.
I was about to say, y'all got to break that shit down because from what I seen, nobody barely even moved. I seen like 4 moves at the most.
Raw had the most moves because Raw had more rounds. That sounds crazy, but Raw had the 5 rounds. So like, okay, let's just break it down here.
Okay.
Like, cause I feel I gotta take on the rosters. All right.
Okay.
Raw got Damian Priest. Of course, champions were protected. So this was a rule that we found out after we recorded the show last week.
Yeah. It's a good rule.
Yeah, it's a good rule.
They made that shit up that day.
all the champions were, but it's a good rule though, because remember like all other years of the draft, it's like who's gonna win the title from the guy who just won at Mania before the draft ends, and it's just like
right, like Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair were on the same show for like a month and a half.
Yeah.
With the Raw and SmackDown championships. We're like, what the fuck is going on here?
It was weird stuff like that. So protecting the champs was dope. So Raw, of course, keeps their tag team champions, the women's champion and the World Heavyweight champion. Becky wins the title last week, so she stays. Damian Priest stays, and Awesome Truth stays. Sami Zayn also stays. Imperium, which is just Gunther and Ludwig, stays. Damage Control moves to SmackDown. I think that's one of the biggest moves.
They moved to Raw.
I'm sorry, they moved to Raw. That was one of the biggest moves to me.
No, it's a big move. They got
that one stood out the most to me. Yeah.
Like that's them saying that's them saying basically we're gonna come back to the EO Bailey stuff later, and we're gonna let them kind of breathe, because we feel like this is a major feud that needs to kind of have some time to breathe for a while. CM Punk, of course, we knew was gonna stay. Braun Strowman returning he was on SmackDown. That's a big move. He hasn't been seen on TV. LWO breaking that up. We wanted that. We wanted them to break the LWO.
Boy, that nigga Braun need to go to Turkey. That's what headline. His headline cooked, boy.
Yeah, nah. I was like, you had the bally. What you do, bro?
That boy need to go to Turkey, boy.
Oh my!
And then we have Drew McIntyre. We knew he'd stay. Judgment Day staying, but the thing is, Judgment Day doesn't seem like they're gonna. It seemed like that was a lateral move because the members are gonna break apart, but they had to have the team there to have to complete the breakup.
Right.
Ilya Dragunov. I feel like Ilya Dragunov would have been a shock if Dirt Sheets hadn't told us about it weeks ago. I think that would.
He declared for it. He declared for which was weird in itself. I was like, you can declare for it now.
Well, he declared, but also it's like,
oh yeah,
he was still wondering what show he was going to be on. You know what I'm saying? Then you have New Day, Lyra Valkyria, another huge shock. That to me was the bigger shock than Kiana James, because I would have thought that would have been I thought it was going to be Roxanne when she got announced.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. Champions must be protected. I'm gonna keep it a buck with Lyra. Godspeed.
She's gonna be fine. She's on the same show as Becky, so that's automatically like
that's big sis.
What?
I said that's big sis.
Yeah, but I mean, to me, that call up makes the most sense because there's a lot of room for her to grow on that show. SmackDown is like there's a lot of scrutiny under you because there's a lot less time for you to get over on that show.
I agree. Like I'm trying to mute because of the police sirens behind me, but yes.
Final Testament 4K, biggest move of the draft, biggest move for Raw.
You're bugging out.
Biggest move for Raw. Come on, the goal.
Them boys are gonna be on the CW.
Nah. The CW too small for us, but we could do that too. You know what I'm saying? It's too small for us. And then you have Big Bronson Reed, and of course their first pick was Jey Uso. And then Seth Rollins.
Hold on, where Bronson Reed at?
Bronson's on Raw.
Okay, bet.
Bronson Reed, Jey Uso, Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Liv Morgan, Ricochet, who I feel like should have went to NXT. To be honest with you, I'm not gonna lie.
I feel you. I mean, I think I don't know. Yeah, I think he should have gone to anywhere where he can actually like do work and it be valued. Yeah, for sure.
Did you see he won the Speed title?
I saw he won the Speed title. I haven't. I was gonna ask him about it. I was like, nah, never
What the
mind.
fuck is that?
I don't know, bro.
What they just making shit up.
Big Bone. They say,
Hey, hold on. Didn't Ricochet go back to NXT one time before, or am I tripping?
He did it for World's End. Yeah, he did it to face Carmelo Hayes.
Oh, okay.
For the North American title at World's End. So he went back briefly, and then he did like another match afterwards, and that was kind of it. But I'm not gonna hold you. Like Ricochet on NXT, I think would be if he can get off like a Finn Balor type run of NXT. I think that's valid to show people that
he need that.
Yeah, he needs a heel role, and I think that's the best way to do it. I don't know why they kept him on Raw. He can't realistically grow any further on that show. He's been on for like 4 years already.
He can. They just won't. He's just not going to be put in the position to. Like,
bro, there's niggas on that show that could cut promos way better than him, bro.
I understand, but I feel like at least I don't know. The opportunity's got to be there.
But we'll see when it's CM Punk versus Ricochet how that shake out.
Hey man, I guarantee you that will never happen. I guarantee you, this nigga's in a loop of facing the same niggas in the same spot. He's gonna in a year from now, he's gonna be facing Shinsuke Nakamura. I guarantee you. Don't ask me how. He just will.
Big boy Sheamus is on Raw. Alpha Academy stays. Kiana James gets picked up for Raw. Alba Fire and Ilya Dawn were supplemental picks. Ivar was as well as Shayna Baszler and Zoe Starks. The Creed brothers stay, of course, because they're probably going to be teaming up with Chad Gable pretty soon. New Catch Republic, Dijak, which is a huge get for Raw. In their
wait. New Catch Republic. Hold the fuck up. Wait, they were moved.
They're on Raw. It happened.
I don't know why I was thinking No Quarter Catch Crew.
Oh. No, not them niggas.
Okay, all right.
They need to figure something out.
The niggas need to. I guess they out of their ball. We never talked about this on the show, maybe for good reason. What were your whole thoughts on the Drew Gulak situation?
We did talk about it, didn't we?
No, I don't think we actually know because it happened during WrestleMania week, so we were doing all WrestleMania shows. I know they talked about it on War Report, but I don't think we actually ever talked about it. Besides the fact, like, well, I don't know, maybe we did. I just think
you talking about Drew Diddy? You talking about that shit with Ron?
I'm talking about him reaching for a handshake. I don't know. It's just weird.
Grabbing the string on her pants and somehow getting into her pants or something like that was the thing. And then he tweeted, "Nah, I ain't do it like that, bruh." And then
how you did it?
He disappeared on TV, or he's been gone. And then
they took him out the Titantron. They took him out the group. They took him out of everything. And it's
he hit the shit off Friday when Craig was on the couch. He grabbed you like this, or he grabbed you like this. That's crazy.
He shouldn't have tweeted. I think the tweet really just made it worse. But I mean, it seems like the results of the internal investigation have bore that he needs to be off TV for a while and possibly for the foreseeable future, if that's the case.
I have a prediction of what's going to happen to him through another news thing that I'm gonna pop in and talk about as well in terms of how WWE's handling things lately.
Let me finish these picks off for Raw. So Kaden Carter, Katana Chance also on Raw. Natalia is also on Raw and NXT, seems like, or she might get CTE out of the territory this week on NXT. And Odyssey Jones, which he's never actually.
Shout out to him.
What is he doing?
Can't keep a black man down. We're up. I don't know. I don't even know his direction currently.
I have no clue. But that was Raw. Raw, to me, blockbuster roster. Superstar.
Omos? They got a big part. What's up with Omos?
Omos has always been a floater. So it seems like he's still like a free agent type deal.
All right.
What? They don't know what to do with Omos.
They do know what to do with Omos, man. He doesn't need to be on the roster. This is what got people fucked up with Braun Strowman back in the day was that they wanted to see this nigga every week.
Nah, I feel you, but we don't really. Last time we saw Omos was the WrestleMania Battle Royal, and then before that was Backlash 2022. Like, you see how crazy that is?
I think he does a lot of stuff off the camera too.
Right, of course.
He does a lot of ambassador stuff, and he does a lot of work for them outside the camera. But it's like, I saw what happened to Braun being utilized so much. He ended up getting injured really badly from doing all of that stuff. His knees, look at him, like he can look at how he walked out. He got the doo-doo walk already. He got the doo-doo walk already. I think if there's a position where Omos can be used in spots that make sense and not utilized every single week, where you could actually prioritize keeping his body healthy for the foreseeable future. He's still a young guy, you know what I mean? Then I feel like I would enjoy that more than seeing him every week and then him squashing people and then us wondering why he doesn't win the world heavyweight title, and then when he gets the chance he loses and then he's back to square one.
I was legit gonna ask you, is there a chance we could ever see him against Cody?
Exactly. It's the same type of booking that Vince would do when you hype up this big dude and then he squashes people for weeks and he takes up time on your show that could be given to other people and you don't have anything for him. So if you don't have anything for him that makes sense in that moment, then don't do it. To me, in my opinion,
I think he's a cool dude. I feel like, at least sparingly, he's been used like 3 times within the course of a year. I feel like
he needs to be a babyface.
I can even agree with that, but I feel like he can be used at least a little bit. Like if you go on an international show, like he could be used in France. This could have been like a, Jey Uso versus Omos, or if he's as a face, he can be part of a tag team or something along those lines. But yeah, that was a good thing about Omos. I was like, what is Omos currently?
But what's loading though? Braun versus Omos, man. Braun Breaker versus Omos.
They did that though, unfortunately.
Did they?
Yeah, they did it in like a Saudi show.
Braun Breaker?
Oh, sorry, not Braun.
Braun Strowman.
I thought it was Braun Strowman. Oh my god.
Braun Breaker.
Oh my god, and they're both on the same show. Braun and Braun, bro.
Yeah,
that's a tag team right there.
That's
Braun.
That's a good match to have to get the guy over. I think that when I look at the Raw roster right now, I mean, you got your established guys, but you got they're Netflix ready in a way that like I feel like SmackDown is USA ready right now. Like SmackDown to me, they're okay. Does it make sense to say that the rosters are balanced, but one clearly favors something more than the other?
I don't know, because it's mostly the same show. So
I think that they received mid cards.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Ultimately, it's the mid card that shifted on both shows. Like it's the Shinsuke Nakamura's and the Chelsea Green and Piper Nivens and the DIYs that are going to support SmackDown whenever they can be on, right? But the thing about being on SmackDown, I've always said being on SmackDown is you got to know how to be a SmackDown person that's really valuable. You got to know how to wrestle and talk, because there's going to be a lot of instances where you're going to be like Bobby Lashley a lot of weeks. You're just going to be clapping in the background. You know what I'm saying? Right. You're going to be clapping niggas way out to the ring. You're going to have to cut promos. You're going to have to do all these other things. There's going to be a lot of time you're not actually wrestling on the show.
So let's get to SmackDown. Speaking of that, so the champions stay. Cody Rhodes, Bayley, A-Town Down Under, Logan Paul, they stay on the show. Jade Cargill they picked all the black women first. So Bianca was their first round pick. She was the first.
Teddy Long and Booker T was in the room. I don't know if you saw that.
Say what?
Yeah. Teddy Long and Booker T were in the draft room. I don't know if you saw that.
Booker T had the biggest blue suit I ever seen in my life.
Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair on the show, of course. Kevin Owens returns to SmackDown, of course, keeping him and Sammy away from each other. Always a good move. The Pride. You could have heard a fucking a fly fart when they announced the Pride, bruh. It's time to break them up.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't even know anymore. I don't know what business they're running. I don't know.
Get them away from Bobby. Get them away from Bobby, bro. Get them away from Bobby, please. That's all I ask. Tiffany Stratton also chosen. Legado del Fantasma gets a chance to do something else. Shinsuke Nakamura is actually a pretty big shakeup. I think he returns to a show. He's next to Cody again, which is kind of annoying, but he's on a show where he can actually have some feuds for sure now. Carmelo Hayes could feud with him. Like there's a lot of people he could feud with. What's he gonna say about Carmelo in the poems that he be writing though?
I I ain't gonna violate y'all show, so I'm I'm
Uh,
a vibe.
Naomi's on the show as well. She stays on SmackDown. Chelsea Green, Piper Niven's a big move. I'd say that's a big move.
Yeah, that's a good move.
It's a good move for her. Pretty Deadly stays. It's time for y'all to unlock their potential. In my opinion, they need more time.
Yeah, I agree. Like it's I don't even know. I guess because they already have 2 white guy heel champions already.
Mm-hmm. They'll have
I
to
feel
be.
like one of them was like injured, right?
Yeah, Kit I believe was injured.
Yeah, he kind of came back like around like when they were like prepping WrestleMania. So I feel like they just paused them for a little bit.
Yeah, it's time though. It's time for them to get on, whether they're the funny heels or whatever they want to do. I always say that I get Edge and Christian vibes from them, and I
Definitely.
I need them to be able to have their potential kind of unlocked here. Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell, they were announced before DIY, which kind of clued you in on like what the fuck was about to happen in that same round. So DIY and Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell are also on the same show. Blair Davenport. Now the NXT women's picks were very funny because not funny but interesting because it's like they got to keep Roxanne on the show because she's the champion, and I can see that's why they put the title back on her because she gets NXT ratings. That's like without a doubt, like she is their biggest ratings earner on the show. But she's also kind of like the ring general, and they still need her there. But Lyra and Blair, they're like, okay, y'all learn all y'all need to learn. Y'all need to go. I thought that was funny.
They've been in NXT UK, so they probably have been in the NXT thing for a long ass time.
Or 5 years. 5
Yeah.
years. Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's time to go. It's time to. And to be honest with you, I thought they would have picked more women, but I also feel like they don't have time for. I don't know, because at some point, the more women that come, the more tag teams are just going to show up because there's still a lot of women who are on the shelf who will be ready to return. Sonya Deville is about to come back. They say. Carmella, I think she has a foot injury now.
Wow.
After maternity leave, which is crazy. Just like, get your money. Alexa Bliss, she's gonna return at some point, hopefully one day.
Yeah.
Nikki Cross. Oh, Charlotte. Yeah, Charlotte too. Charlotte could return tomorrow. Shit.
Yeah, Charlotte and Blair. There's a lot of meat on the bone for Blair as a heel on that show because Damage Control's gone. And
Blair's just a hater, and I think that's what they just need. They just need a mid-card hater. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because all of Blair's feuds have just been like she just injured a bitch on the show,
right?
And just like now they're out for revenge 8 months later.
Carmelo Hayes also on SmackDown. He had a big night on SmackDown on Friday.
Talk about don't miss.
Randy Orton.
Shaq got a fool.
Randy Orton, Nia Jax made a bit. Listen, can I just tell you how much I enjoy Nia Jax now? How crazy is that?
She's great at her job.
She's a worker. She's a real worker. I never thought I'd say that. I never thought I'd see the day when she became a real worker.
No, I want to hate, but she going crazy.
Yeah, she showed up on SmackDown. Just out of it's like when you sign a contract for a new job, and it's like, here's your start date, and then you just decide to show up before your start date.
Yeah,
and just start looking around and shit. She just showed up and beat up Naomi and Bailey. I was like, damn, we had to get them.
She got baptized and shit. Yeah, that's a different woman.
Yeah, she is though. She definitely got that baptized video was hilarious because all the wrestlers in there with terrible suits and shit on. It was funny as shit.
Hey, man.
But it seems as though they're doing something with Nia and Tiffany, which I think will be actually pretty fun. But it's Nia and another blonde. They love putting them on teams. But
they TikTok buddies.
LA Knight stays on SmackDown. The Bloodline, they had a storyline about that. They were picked in round 3. Paul Heyman makes a point saying, how could anyone pick the Bloodline when they don't know what they're drafting? Because Roman, of course, took his name out of contention for the draft at the beginning of SmackDown. Really good. I love that was probably the best ongoing story to me. That and the Drew thing was the best ongoing story of just like, how the fuck are we so low on the draft? AJ Styles.
I don't understand how someone commits vehicular assault
and still
still draft them to your show.
It's wrestling, baby. Come on, nah. It's wrestling.
I like his drive.
Literally. AJ Styles stays on because, of course, Andrade goes to SmackDown, of course, giving more credence to where Charlotte's going to land when she comes back. Cedric Alexander and Ashanti the Adonis. I thought this was just something they dropped, but apparently they're still a tag team.
Hey man, tag team until the contract drop. You know what I'm saying?
Baron Corbin is back on SmackDown. He's moved up. He got called up. That was another call up. The OC Giovanni Vinci is officially a part of SmackDown as well. Tegan Knox and Apollo Crews, and that's the SmackDown roster. SmackDown roster is a bunch of mechanics and then big stars.
Giovanni Vinci about to have low key. I have a hunch he's gonna have the Zion Quinn experience.
What?
Of what? Because he has essentially you have to create a new gimmick for him and present it now on the show, which has already a bunch of people taking up a lot of time on the show. Like to really to take him out of that group and say like, okay, we're gonna dedicate time to you. It's like the Shantae and what's my man's name? Cedric. Damn. It's like the Shantae and Cedric thing. They literally did the vignette 1 week and then just never did it again.
Because it was whack.
I don't know about if it was because it was whack. Either whether it's whack or not, you gotta like consistency. It's to me, SmackDown is already the tough thing about SmackDown. It's a 2-hour show, and it seems like they already have a cast of people heavily featured on the show that require. You're not gonna have Roman doing 30-minute promos anymore, so that's kind of like the benefit of it. But you still got a cast of characters that are going to be featured on the show very highly. So it's going to be interesting to see. And then you have new people like Tiffany Stratton and Carmelo Hayes who are going to be coming on the show. And I think it's going to be tough for a couple of people. Unless you're in a tag team, unless you are in a group, I think it's going to be tough to be on SmackDown on an island by yourself. You might never see Apollo Crews again. Like
we already didn't see him though.
This is true. I mean, shit, man.
Yeah, because I was thinking Apollo Crews is probably going to be like where Zion Quinn was. Kind of like you just randomly just see that nigga in the ring with no interest music.
And you can't get him back to NXT because he already did NXT.
He already did it. Yeah.
I think again, there's a lot of avenues that open up on SmackDown's mid card and upper mid card. I think the question with SmackDown is like with Raw, you have a bunch of like ready-made world heavyweight title contenders. You got Sammy, you got Gunther, you got Damian, you got Punk, you got Drew.
Right.
With SmackDown, it gets a little tricky because you got Cody, you got AJ.
You don't even really have a mid-card title because he's not even there the whole week.
The time. Like, you got Logan, who I think should be the SummerSlam contender. You got I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like Melo could he could make a run, you know what I'm saying? But I don't see him winning that title this year. Like there's a lot of people that, you know, need to like kind of step up. And that's gonna be the tricky thing about what's going on SmackDown. But Raw, it's a blockbuster roster. I got no qualms about that. But it's seeming to me, and this might be unpopular opinion, that SmackDown's gonna be like the women's show. It's gonna be about the women and Cody.
Probably. It looks like it. My whole beef with the draft was I feel like it was very long in the tooth to essentially it was like we had talked about a couple of weeks ago doing like a mock draft. And then I was like, let's just do who do we think are gonna be the big moves, because I legitimately think most people are gonna stay on the same show. And a good portion of people stayed on the same show. I think a lot of people actually moved when you count groups and tag teams and all these other things like that. When you count them as talent together, a lot of people moved. And there's opportunities to break up people, and there's opportunities to mix around people and maybe new storylines and all this other stuff like that. But having to sit through that draft and see like multiple rounds of the same people going to the same show just wasn't a good like television experience. And I think that's the thing they may need to like improve on in the future. Mm-hmm. And the A Show account, shout out to Dion doing God's work. He was like, oh, the 2005 draft was popping. But the 2005 draft was popping because they literally only moved people to new shows. It wasn't like this, like, we're going to do rounds. We're going to essentially fake a draft and say, "Hey, we're gonna do this." I know it's wrestling. I know it's fake. All in general, I get it. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like
Talent
it's just
don't know. The talent don't know, or at least the NXT talent didn't.
NXT talent might be even worse. Sitting there for 3 hours in a ring. I'm trying to figure out. I hope someone drops like a TikTok video of what they were doing when they weren't fucking being drafted for the first 2 hours of the show.
They had Trick in there for a minute. Just
Everybody was there, bro. Imagine being called in to work at 9:00 at night.
how hot was it that Ilya was there on Monday, front and center? I'm like, oh, it's today. Like as soon as I saw it,
He wasn't there. He wasn't there on Friday.
oh, it
Oh.
was Trick sitting next to all the other champions on the right side on Friday.
Shout out to him, nigga. So he was like, "Yo, call," but I'm ready. Just call me up. Don't fucking leave me there. No, it's kind of nuts. Amp, what are your thoughts on the draft?
Oh yeah, like I said earlier, it was all right. I didn't really see that many moves, but y'all brought some good points up. How SmackDown definitely gonna be a women's show. I will say, Dijak had that shirt ready, so he had to know something.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's a fact.
He had the Dijak hijack shirt.
It said, buddy.
He had a blue one in there too. I don't know if you noticed.
Said, buddy, we need some help on that other show.
Oh, he had a blue one too. Is he still gonna do the cop gimmick?
That's what, bro. That's why I'm like, there's no way he keeps the cop gimmick, right?
He gotta do something. He can't be regular Dijak again. Shout out to Dijak, amazing. But
maybe he could be FBI. Well, the Italians. Come on, all right. Anyway,
fuck it, bring back the hardcore title.
Yeah, bro. Dijak with the hardcore title would be hard.
I think he needs give him a match versus Gunther. Let him show off some stuff. Let him do a springboard or something to get things kind of moving. But I'm glad he's still here.
Gunther gonna choke his ass up.
I'm glad he's still here, but yeah, it's I don't know what we're gonna do with all these people on this show. But that's funny. That's funny. Baron Corbin got to be sick. He's like, damn, I got to go back to work.
Yeah, I feel like it was very. I feel like Baron did something where he could come back to the main roster as a babyface, and people wouldn't look at it sideways. Like I think he should just stay what he is.
I agree. Maybe enter King of the Ring. I don't know, some shit.
You want to get into this Dynamite segment from
yeah, man,
last week? It was in Jacksonville, so it's only right that we have Amp on to talk about Tony Khan finally inserting himself into Dynamite storylines proper.
Duval OG.
Yeah.
What?
He's the chief football strategy officer for the Jaguars.
Your team.
Yeah.
Is it anything like AEW and its current strategy for how it's building is what I'm not a football fan, but how are we comparing the two?
It might you can kind of compare last season to AEW. We the Jaguars this season we started off 6-2, and somehow we missed the playoffs towards the end. We collapsed. AEW started off strong. Now they're collapsing, so it's identical. So there you go.
Oh my god,
man! Y'all know how I feel. Y'all know how I be in the Discord about AEW. I get my slander off. Keep that AEW shit out the football shit. I should not be watching. I'm watching the NFL draft, and they in the Jaguars war room, and I see Tony Khan with a neck brace on, and I'm like, bro, come on, bro.
Moving fine, by the way.
Take that monkey shit off your neck, man. Keep that wrestling shit off my. Wrestling and football should not mix. I'm sorry. I shouldn't see Trevor Lawrence in with AEW wrestlers. Keep that shit separate.
Well, I mean, to the other court, we shouldn't see Patrick Mahomes giving Logan Paul his Super Bowl rings either.
Yeah, but Triple H don't own the Chiefs. So there you go. It's cool like to see the wrestler like on the show, but like don't mix storylines with like real football. Football is real to me, damn it.
So that was my big thing once I heard the NFL draft was literally the day after the angle. Because to
Yeah.
me, I was like, all right, someone didn't think the timing through of they were going to have this big angle spot where they take out Tony Khan essentially.
Mhm.
But Tony Khan has to actually be visible for the next 7 days on
Yeah.
television.
Well, they thought that it was like gonna bring intrigue to their show, but to Am's point, what is the overlap between like
It did the
football
opposite,
fans
nigga.
to wrestling
The
fans?
ratings imploded, nigga.
It can't be much, right?
Well, shit, they were paying people to sit in the arena, bro. Jacksonville don't give a fuck about AEW. We like the Jaguars, of course. That's our team, but we don't care about AEW.
Oh my god.
And that's what's fascinating to me because, like, again, you did this. There's such a big kind of like thing about, all of this happening, and then he did it, and then he showed up, and then everyone's like, I want to see him with the neck brace on the show, and it's like he did it, and it's just like, okay, and they wrote a full on the Jacksonville Jaguars website. They wrote an article about it, and it was all like, hey y'all, this is fake. Like literally, the whole article is like, this is fake. He's fine, but
They discovered that the person who wrote it was a big AEW fan, by the way.
Oh man.
See, we got like a lot of like reporters, like sports reporters. They be clowning like the Khan family. So when it was brought up that they were paying people to sit in the arena, they were like clowning them. They were like, these people own the Jaguars and like they got a failed wrestling company. Like why do we got people running our team and they can't even like handle their wrestling business? They're like, look at these people.
It's like the reverse XFL.
Yeah, like the dude, like, look at this. He's paying people he can't even fill up his own arena in his own city. So like, yeah.
But what do you feel when you see, like, you see it on the side of like the Jaguars? What do you feel when you see like other wrestling accounts say, oh, they're actually doing great and he owns all this and it's all great? Like what do you feel when you see that?
It's like basically all bullshit. You talking about how you like own a soccer team and all that shit?
Yeah.
I feel like business wise, he do good with the Jaguars, but like everything else is just like up in the air. He do good with his football, with his soccer team and all that. But
it's football though. Like football to me is like a no brainer. It's like anyone could do well with football. You know what I'm saying? Like that's America's fucking sport. You know what I mean? Like
NFL at least for sure. Yeah, NFL. Yeah,
everybody's gonna do good with NFL football. I think what it stands out is that like people are saying like this guy got unlimited money. He could do whatever he wanted to, nigga.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, yeah.
Well, they on his ass right now because we gotta get a new stadium. They need to do like $2 billion worth of renovations.
Whoa.
And he's putting up $1 billion, and he want the city to put up the other $1 billion. And everybody like, no, nigga, you put up both billions. Like we put up enough money, nigga. You put up both $1 billion. You got it. You just paid Benz. But you paying Benz. Put that money up. Put that to the stadium.
Get that Mercedes Monet money out.
You call her Benz, bruh.
Yeah, get that Benz money to the stadium.
Come on, man. but yo, like I just think that it's just like, again, this angle. It's the angle itself, of course.
Let me explain. Can I explain what happened? Oh, go ahead. If you're gonna explain it, go ahead.
All right, so Jack Perry showed up at the pay-per-view last week. Of course, we talked about that. And he comes out, and the thing that's weird to me about this whole thing, they did not say that Tony Khan would be on camera on that episode until 9 o'clock.
I was going to. All right, so at the end of this, I was going to give this a grade. And the grade is a C- for basically they passed just on the attempt of doing something to try to add intrigue to the show, but they failed on all the other small things that would make this an actual successful angle. But go on.
Can I ask y'all a question? Why do niggas like Jack Perry online? Like,
because
weak as hell, bro. He like 4'11". He got pumped, beat his ass. Like, why do I like this guy?
They ride with him because they too also get their asses whipped.
Okay, that makes sense.
In real life. I think that's the only way that I could call it. Like, no one crowds around a loser like this. Like, they think that
Not
it's
us,
awesome.
no.
They think that it's awesome because he did something that potentially put the company in a hole at their biggest. Like, you got your biggest star fired, essentially. Well, he got himself fired. Let me be clear. He got himself fired, but you were the catalyst for that incident, and you got basically no punishment. You got to sit at home and get paid, and then you got to come back to a hero's welcome. I think that's odd to me. It's like they're rewarding him. That's the strangest part to me. Is like they're rewarding him for this. So he comes out.
They kind of got no choice.
That is true. Tony comes out. He looks again. There is a certain characteristic to this, and I saw some tweets about like, oh, this is how companies start their hottest angles when they do things like this. And here's the difference: Eric Bischoff was at that point an innocent bystander that no one knew was actually controlling the company from that way, right? So when he gets powerbombed by Kevin Nash, that's a big deal because it showed that these are people who were coming from the outside. Jack Perry's not an outsider. He is signed to your company. He was not fired from your company. That's why that doesn't work.
Vince McMahon, he was given a job just minutes before.
Vince McMahon was a character because he screwed over Bret Hart. He was a natural heel at that point, right? So when he became Mr. McMahon, that was a buildup of all the things that they had seen him do and all of the acts that he performed up to the point where Bret Hart was gone and he got screwed over. So that's why that worked. And so when Austin gives him the stunner, that character was already there. It was already built up. You know what I'm saying? Like it had already been happening. Tony Khan, you're meant to love him. You're meant to be a fan of his. He is like the greatest thing ever, but he does not command that personality. And you see that when he comes out.
He's not a character on the show as well. That's another major thing. Like he's not featured in any other circumstances. He would not be putting himself in this situation.
He's scared for his life and all that stuff that people know, that people have seen him say, right? He comes out, Jack Perry says, reinstate me and let's change the world again. They shakes his, and I hated the looking at the camera, breaking the fourth wall bullshit. This was some real Young Buck shit. That was the corniest shit I've ever seen when he looked at the camera. You're not supposed to do that. Like, come on, man. Like that shit.
That was that shit off Michael Jackson Thriller at the end.
Bruh. Like he hits him with the mic. The mic makes no noise. He falls down like remember that game this is like a throwback shit, right? Remember this game called Too Extreme on PlayStation 1 where you was like,
yeah, I remember that.
When you fall, you like on the roller skates, it looked like you just take a flat back bump. That's what it looked like Tony Khan did. He looked like a Too Extreme character taking a flat back bump. And from there, the Bucks come out with Okada, and then they give him the Tony Khan driver, and
let me add another thing here that I took points off. Them feigning that they're going to do the kick to me ruined the impact of what they did afterwards. Mm-hmm. Them trying to be cute and it's like, oh, we're gonna hit him. Actually, we're not. Now let's hit him anyway. Like I was just like, bro, you ruined the moment. Like you could have came out and genuinely concerned.
It was so odd, right? Because it was, again, we knew that they were going to do what they did because he helped you on Sunday.
Yeah.
Like there was no question about y'all were gonna do something nefarious to him. It goes off the air with Shad Khan coming out, all these people coming out, helping him.
He was sick.
There's many reasons why this didn't land and why this looked desperate. I want to get you guys' thoughts on why it looked desperate to me, because I think this is to them is them flailing like we have nothing else at this point.
So for me, I thought, like many others, I thought this was fucking hilarious. But also, here's the thing. Desperate, yes, but I also kind of appreciate the attempt at trying to add any form of intrigue to the show. The literal attempt. Because Dynamite usually goes off the air with a match that no one gives a damn about, and no one is tuning in afterwards anyway. But literally all the small details, the build up to it, the items that happened in it, the mere fact that none of this was kind of like hinted at. Tony Khan wasn't announced that he was going to be there. No one was prompted to tune in for this big ordeal. And then afterwards is like, what's the update on Tony Khan? Tuned into Collision, And then on Collision, it's like just Tony Schiavone and whoever the other announcer is just say like, yeah, I guess he's working remotely now. Like, what the fuck?
He got up and walked off the move, so that means that either of us could take one of them shits and just walk away from it.
Hey man, I ain't gonna tell you, but yeah, probably. But
Well, shit, it took him like 5 minutes to like sell the first punch.
Yeah.
Like he stood on his back and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm supposed to sell this."
let me
He said,
let me double over in pain.
But it
And
was
then
like,
the Young Buck move was weak as fuck. Like he barely hit him. What is that? That looks corny. And that's a move they use. I don't watch Young Bucks matches, so that's a move they use.
yeah,
They
it's a
win
move.
with that.
Yeah, they win matches with that. Yeah,
Well,
It
that
was
shit look lame
previously
as hell.
called the Meltzer driver, and then it was renamed
I remember
the Tony
that.
Khan driver. Yeah.
And like he barely hit him with it. Like he missed him.
I mean, yes.
just know, Amp, and I'm sorry in advance that whenever y'all lose the playoffs, whenever y'all have an embarrassing loss, that is going to be brought up in perpetuity forever.
Oh no!
That-
Hold
like,
on! We're going to the Super Bowl. Did you not see that last episode of Simpsons? The Simpsons predict everything right. They had us winning the Super Bowl last episode. We're going to the Super Bowl, nigga.
Listen, don't lose during the season because it's gonna be one of them football accounts is gonna be Jack Perry with the damn Cardinals or some shit over the logo over his face, and Tony Khan with the Jags over his face.
That's exactly what's gonna fucking happen.
So just get ready for that, brother. I'm sorry in advance. But listen, this is a show. This is a show, and not only that, a company that is. I watched AEW Dynamite last week. It was one of the worst episodes of TV I've watched in quite some time. Like quite some time. It was the audio issues, the fucking matches, Swerve going 20 minutes with just some rando, and then the like just the whole way he's being presented at this point is just off to me. Like the because he did the Fletcher match. He did the Cesaro match, and I was like, what are we doing? He doesn't even have a goal right now. He's just doing matches.
Hold on. So Swerve was on a Saturday show, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
He wasn't on a Wednesday show?
He was.
He was.
He was?
He
Okay.
He had a random match on the Wednesday show.
They didn't have like no celebration for him or something?
No. Nah. And my theory on that was there was two new champions crowned, him and Willow. And because they want to do the Mercedes thing, which I assume Mercedes is a higher priority than Swerve. She gets paid more. I'm assuming it's a priority. And the mere fact you can't do two championship celebrations on a show, you probably could, but you would take the wind out of the second one. They opted to do the Mercedes one because she has to set up the match for Double or Nothing with Willow.
Gotcha. Can't celebrate too many niggas. I got you.
Yeah.
So
he said it, not me. But but yeah, it's just a show that is just aimless in its intention. It's aimless in like what exactly they're trying to solve, what they're trying to do. Like I have no clue whatsoever what AEW is anymore as a company. Like it's just a bunch of shit, and people are just cool with it. It's like, yeah, we're just gonna just do shit, I guess. But ultimately, none of what they did to me on Wednesday hit like that. And again, it's indicative of a bigger problem. It's like they got a lot of shows that they have coming up, and they don't have a lot of leeway. Like a lot of their talent is injured. Mercedes is still injured. And isn't a rumor that she's gonna main event the next pay-per-view? Isn't that the rumor?
Yeah, the rumor currently is that they're gonna main event Double or Nothing. Which,
That's
to
hot.
be fair, she gets paid the most. It's like you're not gonna pay someone a lot of money and have them sit on the bench.
Why she don't go for the main like the one that Tony Storm got? Since you get paid the most, she's going after the mid card.
That's a great question, Amp.
That's an amazing shit. That shit ain't that fire. It gotta be some politics going on with that, like backstage.
Britt Baker probably getting that title when she get back. Probably, I bet money that's probably why. Is that Britt Baker's gonna get it, and they're not trying to step on too many toes, because I mean Britt Baker is they Charlotte, boneless Charlotte.
I I'm dying.
It's
So
gonna get real nasty because it's gonna get to the point where like the mid card title gonna be bigger than the main title.
It already is. It's gonna
It
main
already
event a
is? Okay.
show. It's gonna main event a pay-per-view. Like that's the craziest part to me is that like, yo, y'all are really just like she's coming off like Hogan. She's coming off like
So
Hogan.
is Tony gonna get a match on that pay per view?
Oh boy.
no,
Oh, I was about
I
to say if
highly
you got a
doubt it.
match, that'd be
So
nasty.
the gimmick currently is Tony Khan had an interview with TV Insider, or actually had I think it was another interview today, but he had an interview today. Essentially says he is not cleared to travel, so he's going to be running the company remotely. But then
Okay.
he also low key, it's full of shit. He also
I'm
low
talking
key.
about Storm.
Oh,
Tony
Oh,
Storm.
Tony Storm. Oh shit, wrong
oh,
Tony.
My fault,
oh shit.
y'all.
Nah,
She's
you good.
probably gonna be facing what's her
Honestly,
name?
I have no fucking idea.
I don't even like who even pays attention to Tony Storm.
I don't. Yeah, I have no. She just beat Thunder Rosa, so I have no idea who she's actually going to face now.
Sorry to the listener. They're probably like, why this nigga don't know nothing about AEW? I'm sorry, I don't watch weak
No,
shit.
no. You're not alone.
Okay.
Trust me, you're not alone. With that said, Tony Khan essentially says like, "Oh, you got to tune in this week to wonder what's going to happen. You know, who's going to be running the show." And it was like Tony. I'm looking at Tony Khan. I'm like, "Are you trying to sell the fact that you may not be running your own company that you're currently promoting?" I was just like, "That's why I feel for your team, bro." Because I'm just
Yeah.
like, bro, if this guy is chief strategy officer, God bless the strategy. With that said, I have one more bit of news that was announced just hours before. And I want to get your take on it, Justin. And I want to get your take on it, Amp. As one Josh P would affectionately call him, the flipping crypt. Reggie, or Scripps, it was announced today via Fightful Select that his contract will not be renewed. And his contract will be up at the beginning of June. It seems like Script is like he already knows. He's already tweeting. He's already moving. Like you know, what are your kind of thoughts on? Do you feel like this is how WWE should move or is moving now with a lot of contracts? Just kind of seeing it through as opposed to just like because honestly, if they were going to let him go, they could have let him go last week. But they didn't. So now they're kind of like letting contracts go. What are your what are your thoughts on Scripps? And then two, what are your thoughts on like this contract situation? Do you feel like they're going to let more contracts run out? Because that's what I thought that's what I think is low key going to happen for Drew Gulak as well.
Yeah.
Once he started being a gangster, he lost me. Like once he started doing gangster shit, he lost me. Wearing chains, he lost me. Sorry.
There's no room for gangster shit on wrestling.
He should have went full Crip. Like he should have been like on no, that's not Crip, but he should have been like on some. I was about to say on Power, but that's not Crip. But he should have been like dropping all kind of like slang and shit. Like he should have went full Crip, man.
That's the thing, though. Like the thing about that is that like you came in as a waiter, a waitress. So like I can't.
He came in as it's another word for what he came in as. He was shining shoes and flipping.
He came in as essentially, what's the guy with the umbrella who used to hang out with Diddy, bruh?
Fonzworth.
Yeah, he came in as that. How am I supposed to, you know what I mean? Like, what am I supposed to get from that? Like, there was no character for him. And if he came out, well, first he came back as like a ninja.
Yeah.
Then he became a gangster.
He was definitely a Power Ranger for sure.
So like, what am I supposed to gain from this? I'm not going to deny the guy's talent, but Scripps, he lost me. He really lost me. And I feel like there was definitely, I don't know if it was creative. If it was his idea, they overthought it. I think they really overthought it. It was an overthought gimmick, and I don't think he did OTM any favors either. Like, because I don't think they ended up looking any better with him either. But
it's weird. I feel like I was like, is there a place for like gang shit in wrestling? Like, because I even remember, for instance, right? Like, if you remember the initial Crime Time, like this was before Crime Time, where they're just the happy-go-lucky thugs that sell Shawn Michael tickets to shows and shit. Like they were like, "Yo, ski mask, we robbing niggas, all types of other shit." They were doing it in OVW. They're early like vignettes for Raw, and then they were like, "It's too racy, let's pull it back." Is there room for actual like legitimize, I don't know, gang shit, thug shit in wrestling? Like, would
Yeah,
you actually buy that?
yeah. I buy it with the Final Testament, 4K.
All right, moving on.
Yeah, I
Really?
would
done.
love like some real like man, you know I love some nigga shit. Like imagine a wrestler before he go out, he sell somebody in the back some fentanyl. Somebody overdose in the back. That would be fire.
Bruh, had Liv turned out, bruh.
No,
That's nuts.
singling out Liv is crazy. just like how they doing with the bloodline, like vehicular manslaughter. That shit fire.
Yeah.
Like running, yeah. Long as nobody die for real, like that's fire.
I mean, they got Italians literally killing people off on the show.
Yeah,
So
they
it's
had
like,
fucking boy, they had KO bleaking. Yeah, we need more of that shit.
oh shit. I mean, J5, do you feel like this is how we move in with contracts now? We're gonna let them run out.
My answer to that is, well, do you want it the other way?
Hey man,
Because I mean, y'all don't see like people don't seem to like it the other way. So if you can't, if you know, if you gotta respect it some way, like you gotta respect it somehow, bro. Like if you don't like it that way, then what way do you really like the way that they handle releases now? I could get with that. I think it gives them a chance to set up their life. And again, that's kind of the type of offer that I was offered when I got let go. Or just like, yo, we'll your contract runs out here, and we'll pay you up to that point. That's fine. I think it gives them a chance to get on their feet and to figure out. And I'm pretty sure if they find a new landing spot, then they can go. They'll probably be able to get out of it. But remember, they just passed legislation about 90-day non-compete, so they might be preparing for that. To be honest.
I don't know if we're gonna see Reggie anywhere else immediately on television. So
If Reggie go to AEW, they always go to AEW, bro. They always go to AEW, bro. No,
I
I've
don't
never
know if
seen.
Reggie going. Who would vouch for Reggie in AEW? Who would be like, nah, Tony, you gotta this nigga right here. No offense to Scripps, no offense to Reggie, but who's his homie over there? Unless it is Swerve. Like Swerve's like, I need a Scripps in my group. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
It'll probably be Swerve. Oof, Jesus Christ.
I need a script to my Swerve. Feel me? I don't know.
Fuck outta here. Let's run through the shows really quick. SmackDown, definitely a nothing show, other than like a couple of picks.
I agree. Other than I popped big for Randy Orton.
That was cool. It did big numbers on YouTube as well. Big numbers.
Yeah, Randy Orton showing up. I was like, damn, who's gonna save Kevin Owens? No one can save Kevin. And I was literally like, oh shit, Randy's here. I fucking forgot. I forgot they're friends.
Randy Orton take 4 bumps every 3 months.
Hey man.
Carlito was
Don't hit me
revealed
with
to have
that.
attacked Dragon Lee, which okay.
Did you watch any of this, Amp?
Yeah, I watched the whole SmackDown.
Oh my!
What threw me off when they got drafted and they had Carlito on the graphic? I was like, why you get this nigga on here, bro? He just triple crossed y'all the other day.
That's like having your damn op on the damn on the graphic, bro.
I was like,
yeah,
nigga, get drafted with me, nigga.
It's like literally having like. Remember when they found out that T.I. had with like the guy Alpha Mega was a snitch?
Oh yeah,
that's like having him on the next album, like,
bro. So they show the clip. First of all, Santos and them, they're not even on the same show anymore. So this was like mad petty, I guess, now in retrospect. But I guess it's leaving the Mysterios or something. So Legado comes out and is like, we know someone who attacked you and we're going to show you the footage online. And it shows Carlito in plain sight. There's no mask. There's no nothing. He still has a fucking afro. He's wearing a Carlito shirt, beating the shit out of Dragon Lee. And then
And then
Carlito looks at and Carlito looks at the clip and was like, he should have said that was AI. because the way he was looking
like, he was looking like, no way, right? No, right? That's not me.
Nah. I can't believe they caught me. So then he beats up Dragon Lee some more and then escapes.
It runs.
And everyone just watches him do it.
Just fucking mental how they came up with that. I never liked. Here's the thing: I never liked him in the team anyway. And I feel like the best way for him to back out is for him to be like, "Listen, man, I ain't Latino like y'all niggas Latino. I'm this. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
like
Puerto Rican.
He could pull he about to pull some colorism, bro. I think that's what's about to happen.
Hey man,
I'm black. Have you seen my daddy? Look at his daddy on the Titantron with that fro.
But there's also some way, like there's also some a path where Carlito could be a really effective heel here. If he,
I think so. I think he's better as a heel. I think he is.
And I think with Santos and Carlito being in the heel in the same show, that just doesn't work. I think that they overlap each other. But I do like the fact that all the Latinos in there like are just all beefing. Like I think that is like the funniest subplot to me right now. Is like Andrade don't fuck with him, but he don't fuck with him or what. Like I think that's a really funny storyline to have between all the Latino people there, because it's actually more true to life than people think.
I can't vouch for it, but I'm assuming.
My wife knows. Right. She knows all. She thinks it's hilarious.
Oh my god. What did we think of the main event between Carmelo, and Cody?
I feel like people are just talking about that one moment, and yeah, it looks bad. But I think just in a vacuum, like it doesn't take away from the match being really, really fun match between those two.
Nah, it was fun. But
it had a one Shackton moment. What was that supposed to be? That was going to be a Cody? Nah, what is it like a?
They were going to crash into each other. It looks like they were trying to do what him and Ricochet did, right, at that pay-per-view 2 years ago.
But mistimed it terribly.
Because Cody just got the main event. He's a body guy now, so he don't got that speed. You know what I'm saying? Like
Cody not a flippy. Like you got to understand. You got to do that a lot to understand the timing of it all.
Yeah.
And the fact they did it, I was watching the match, enjoying it, and then I was like, "What the fuck was that?"
I thought it was about to be like a Cody cutter or something.
It would have hurt them probably more than it probably. They're lucky that only one person got hurt, because that looked like it was going to hurt both of them and look stupid, just in general. But I think that the idea of like, or just the view of seeing Cody wrestling on SmackDown, appearing on SmackDown just in general, and wrestling with people that you normally wouldn't see, Roman have given any time to years ago, is actually pretty cool. I think that that's a cool way to look at this. And if that's the type of things that are going to be happening on the show, then it's actually really exciting.
Yeah.
Right.
And Melo looked good. Melo looked great. He came out. He cut a really good promo. He set the stage for what he's going to be doing. He had a really good match. I think there were moments in the match where you could kind of tell he was overthinking, and I think he was probably nervous. And I don't blame him, but all of my concerns about, because like I said in the Discord, I was like, "Yo, is Melo the Jannetty?" And I think that all of my concerns went out the window when I saw how he was presented on Friday, because they are not trying to present him as like an afterthought whatsoever. I think it was just Trick's time.
You gotta wait till Trick shows up.
Well, I don't think that they do that. You know what I'm saying? Right away. But I think that by the time Trick gets there, Meelz, I think Melo will be like, Trick is not complete yet. And I think that's what people are not seeing, is that he's not complete as a character yet. His adversity has been very much linked to Melo and Ilya, and they're gone now, right?
Yeah.
So with Trick, he has to come up with a character outside of that. And with Melo, he now has a chance to work with top guys and get mid-card guys and stuff like that. He gets a chance to kind of craft and change and alter his characters in ways that Trick just can't do yet, because he's just facing developmental talent. So I think by the time Trick gets there, I think Melo won't have anything to worry about.
I agree.
Raw, I thought was a better show altogether than SmackDown. But I mean, you had the Logan Paul Judgment Day segment. with iShowSpeed. I was very concerned about Speed's reading abilities. I'll just say that.
I don't know why I was, but I was too. I was just like, oh, they gonna let him read the draft picks? He did a good job, man. A lot of energy. It was like if he was hosting 106 or something, you know.
I thought Braun was gonna kill him, bro.
He should have killed him.
I thought Braun was gonna kill that nigga, bro.
But I don't think he's taking any more bumps. I don't think he's taking any more bumps anytime soon.
He's definitely getting a match by the time this year is over, for sure.
Okay.
He's like the Johnny
tag match, right?
Probably. He's like the Johnny Knoxville of this shit now. I think Speed is young enough to keep doing this shit forever.
Man, and the fact, you know, what's crazy. He talked about on a podcast. It was supposed to be Kai Cenat, and then I think Kai pulled out or something along those lines. Like it just didn't work out, so it ended up being Speed.
Kai like 4'8", he would have flew up that.
Yeah, like I think it's better because I think that like if Speed gets the bug, Speed is like sneaky athletic.
Yeah, he is.
Like he's a fucking insanely athletic dude. I think that it actually would kind of be, if he gets the bug and he actually wants to do it and learn it and take it seriously, because I only foresee him being a locker room problem if he actually does get into the heat. I only foresee bad things from him because he's a character 24/7. So I don't know.
I don't want Kai showing up and inviting Liv Morgan to his room and trying to hit on her and shit.
Yeah, Speed might get released. He gonna sniff Tiffany Stratton's seat and get released. He gonna sniff her seat and bark. He's like,
oh,
get this nigga out.
Well, was CM Punk supposed to be on SmackDown and Raw? Because he was advertised for both. I know he showed up at the end of SmackDown, but he didn't show up on TV. Was that a mistake in branding, or was that supposed to happen?
I have no idea. I knew he was supposed to be there, but I didn't think he would actually be on the show since I guess he's not on SmackDown. Right. But yeah, he was definitely there on Raw. But even on Raw, it was kind of like he was revealed the first time and then he came out later in the show.
It was cool. It felt like he was trying not to make his promo too long, and so he cut it off at 2 minutes. He was like, "I'm about to go in on this nigga, but you know what? Never mind."
It was good. It was good. I like the Drew and Punk feud.
They're both injured.
That's crazy.
They're both injured. Like Drew and Punk are both injured. I don't know how this match is going to work. I don't know how they're going to keep it interesting, but that's up to them.
Beefing. They gotta like start sending shit to niggas' houses now, and just being a big hater.
But he also resigned.
Ooh, yeah, it was pretty big money. I heard it was a good deal, like a really, really good deal.
It should be. I mean, that motherfucker's working. I think he definitely deserves it more than more than anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like he's put in the work to actually get this heel turn over. And I think that looking at it just from characters that they need on Raw, he's one of the reasons why I think Raw has a blockbuster roster now, because you got a heel that could really transcend the show and be somebody that like kind of like goes in and just kind of fills that role that you need him to do with any character that's a babyface, Sammy, Punk, anybody. You know what I'm saying? When that moment comes, but. The Punk and Drew thing is definitely something that like where do we think is going to happen? Because it feels like to me Punk's almost ready, and I feel like him and Drew will probably be ready at the same time.
They're not fighting for him. Thinking SummerSlam, right?
I'm thinking Money in the Bank in Canada.
Yeah, I was saying because I was thinking like at first SummerSlam, but I was like, you can't really wait that long. I feel like this is gonna be hot, maybe like 2 months at the most.
Yeah, I think the shock will be that Punk, because he's not wearing the little brace no more. So to me, it feels like he's almost ready to go. I think the shock to me will be somebody trying him and him actually getting physical in the ring, and that'll let us know that he's ready. But it seems like, I mean, it's been January, it's almost May. It's supposed to be like a 6-month thing. He did say before Mania he was ahead of schedule. It's seeming to me like it might be sooner than later.
I think it's going to be sooner than later. But I would love like a summer of them just being like haters to one another and just like doing mad, just showing up to his fucking dinner and fucking shit up, and like Drew pulling up in Chicago and it's like, I'm in your city, fuck you gonna do? Like, just if they're gonna be both injured, just like do mad different promos. of like fuck, kind of like what they did with Seth and Edge a bit, where Seth showed up in Edge's house and started like fucking using up all his comforters and drinking his orange juice and shit.
That's
All
you
that.
just want niggas to be disrespectful, and
I do.
that's why you
They
green.
injured. They
Yeah.
injured.
Let's get the Backlash.
Okay.
Real quick. Short show, 5 matches. Seems to be the part of the course for Triple H's era of kind of B pay-per-views. Let's start it off with Randy Orton and Kevin Owens versus the Bloodline 2.0. What are we calling this Bloodline? Because it's not Bloodline to me.
I have no idea. Niggas is bugging. The bugging line. I don't know. Niggas is bugged out. Solo and MFT. Tom, I'm like, what is MFT?
I don't know. Motherfucking Tongan?
Yeah, I was just like, all right, that's what I'm saying. Shout out to Tama Tonga getting a big debut at the pay-per-view, in a big match. Solo and Tama Tonga, they are.
Bulk and Skull.
Why do you say that?
Bro, they're just silly, bro. Like when Solo showed up in a suit, I was like, man, you just doing cosplay. You need to make this your own.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know it yet. Like, we're leaving him to his own devices. They're probably giving him suggestions on what to do. Paul Heyman's like, yo, man, show up in a suit. All heels wear a suit kind of vibe. I don't know if they even know fully what they want to do yet with this group, but they know they want to beat up Kevin Owens for sure. It's like, all right, KO, it's time.
Why do they got beef with Kevin Owens? Like, he just started a show and said,
remember
where's Kevin Owens?
Because when they were the week of Mania, after Mania, when they were trying to go to the Bloodline locker room, Kevin Owens said, "Hey man, you can't get in here. This Cody locker room now, nigga."
Oh yeah.
He said, "Go." He told him to go get him some big Bufors, and they didn't like that.
Go run down the Checkers and get us some big Bufors.
Like, they didn't like that. They didn't like that energy, and so that's why they're beefing with them. I foresee this being a really fun match. It'll be a lot of people's first time seeing Tama Tonga. I'm wondering if he'll switch up his style in any way, shape, or form. We haven't actually seen him wrestle yet, or seen him wrestle in a while. But I honestly see the Bloodline winning this. Unfortunately,
oh, yeah,
they kind of gotta. Yeah, they kind of gotta win this, just to at least have any kind of edge in anything that they're doing. It's interesting. Jimmy's supposed to be out indefinitely.
neck injury.
Yeah, so we have no idea when he's coming back. We have no idea when Roman's coming back. People talking about Jacob Fatu. I don't know when he's going to be showing up. But honestly, I don't think he should show up on the main roster just off the gate, to be real with you. But I don't know. Samoan shit.
I agree. I think he needs to go to NXT. They need a name like that in their men's division. Yeah. NXT is hurting right now.
Right.
With the absence of Mello, Braun, and Ilya. Like they are and Dijak shit. Like who's gonna have those fucking notable matches? They've lost Tyler Bate. They've lost Ilya
Wesley back, baby.
Where is he?
Nigga training.
All right, well, we'll see. But I see them winning here, or you could do a thing where they lose and they're like they're losers, and the Bloodline becoming losers. I think that's a good story too.
I don't know. Is Roman gonna let them? I don't know. At this point, it is what it is. But I do think the Bloodline is gonna win for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like they gotta win. I don't see no point in Randy Orton KO winning this match.
And then next match, Kabuki Warriors versus Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. They've been practicing this match for 3 weekends. You kind of get where this is going. It's probably going to look like the match that you've probably already seen clips from on Twitter the past couple weeks. If not, it's going to be fun. But I think Kabuki Warriors are going to Raw pretty much kind of sealed their fate on where these titles are going. I got Jade and Bianca winning this.
Bianca gonna take the beat down, which is gonna be crazy. And Jade coming in with the hot tag is gonna be even crazier.
Do they like black people in France?
That's a good fucking question. You know that?
Because you know they get weird. They get weird with Bianca overseas.
And Jade probably look at Jade is like, who's this kaiju showing up at my front door?
Yeah, they the responses might be skewed. I'll just say that they might be a little skewed. But I got Jade and Bianca winning this one. What about you, Amp?
I got Jade and Bianca winning also.
Yeah,
Quick
same
match.
here.
Quick match,
Same
about
here.
6 minutes.
6 minutes,
And
crazy.
hopefully you can. Nah, I mean, I'm gonna give it a buck. It's probably gonna be 6 minutes. It's gonna be the
It
photo's
need
gonna
to
be
be longer
fire.
because there's only 5 matches, but I think that shit gonna be like 6 minutes. The interest is gonna be most of the shit.
Yeah.
If I think, I don't know, the opportunity to have Bianca and Jade on both shows is pretty big. So
yeah,
I'm with it.
Next match, triple threat for the WWE Women's Championship. I think it's a little early for a triple threat. I will say that, for especially for Bayley. But Bayley versus Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton. This has the potential to be fun. I think this might go 15-20, but it has the potential to be really fun. Bayley's on another level right now. She's probably my favorite women's wrestler of the year so far. Naomi, Tiffany Stratton, they got a lot to prove out here. What do y'all think? What do y'all think about where this is going? Bayley's definitely given a lot of a rub to the other women on SmackDown.
It would be wild if Bayley didn't win. But I'm low key, I would be okay if Tiffany Stratton won. I'm gonna give a buck with you. It would be weird as fuck if Bayley reign just cut off in like a month. But I would be okay if Tiffany Stratton won because I feel like there's just a lot of opportunity to just have her be the star of the show, which she undoubtedly is, to be honest with you, on SmackDown. I don't know how this is gonna go, to be honest with you, but I'm pretty sure that Bayley's gonna win. The more I say this shit now, it also feels like a house show now, because I feel like we got all the people that we assume is gonna winning. But you know, I look forward to see what they're gonna do in this match. It dazzle me and spectacular to me, you know.
Yeah, I got Bayley winning. Yeah, it's seeming to me like the feud's really Bayley and Tiffany Stratton, and then it'll be Nia and Tiffany going against Bayley and whoever else. So it's a good spinoff. I think it'll be cool.
What do you think, Amp?
I got Bayley winning. I got Naomi taking the pin.
Ooh,
wow. Yeah,
that'll be messed up on Bayley's half.
After that, we have Damian Priest versus Jey Uso in a World Heavyweight Championship match. Damian's first defense. Before we get to the guess of who we think is going to win, how long do y'all think Damian's going to hold this title? Because I do not think it's going to be long. I think we got to about July before he drops it.
Whenever Seth coming back.
I got
whenever Seth come back.
I mean, before this injury, I was definitely going to say Drew. I feel like Clash of the Castles in 2 months. Actually, less than 2 months at this point. But he on the clock until then. I feel like they should just give it to Drew. To be real with you, like it was fun. If we're gonna do the implosion of Judgment Day because Damian Priest is being an asshole, might as well kick it off there. I think it would be a great. I think they should do Damian versus Drew versus somebody else. So Damian doesn't immediately get pinned, and you can kind of like get someone else to take a pin. I'm not going to say Punk. I think it should be either Jey Uso or if Seth Rollins is back, Seth Rollins. But I don't think Seth Rollins is going to be back for a minute.
He gonna have to get surgery, I heard.
Yeah. So,
Damian Priest winning.
Yeah, Damian for now, but
we're also on the show where the Bloodline are also on the show, so they always love to fuck with Jay. So I would definitely keep an eye out for them too.
That would be wild if they just just out of nowhere just fucked with Jay. I would be like, y'all niggas haters, bro.
Bro, they are, bro. Come on, that's all the Bloodline is. They breed haters. Fuck niggas. Main event: Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles. I think this is getting some time. I think this is getting a lot of time, actually. it's been a light feud, and a lot of people I know a lot of people had an issue with the promo that they had cut the other day. But I think that I think it's fine. I think that ultimately with that, like they don't have a reason to be like that mad at each other yet. You know what I mean? Like there's no real heat that they have against each other right now. There's no need for the beef to be that like crazy. So I didn't have an issue with that. But I think in terms of just like the way AJ's worked for the past couple of months, he's been showing that he's kind of getting back into that form. And Cody needs a big marquee win and a big marquee match to show that not only can he bring it in the ring, but he can also tell a story. And I think that's what they're trying to do here.
What do you think, Amp?
I got Cody winning, but it's gonna be by DQ. I think AJ gonna do some bullshit so they can have a second match at the next pay-per-view.
Yeah, I see this going a distance. I see this probably 2 matches, like you said, Amp, and then maybe the last one on SmackDown or something is kind of like a last chance. But I
Yeah.
think I think AJ needs, he's trying to prove himself, kind of like as the next big heel on the show. And I think it's cool that AJ and Cody get to have this match. They've never had it before. I'm intrigued because we've never seen it. You know what I mean? And we finally get there. So it's probably my most anticipated match of the whole show, and I think it'll probably be match of the night.
I'm trying to wonder, alongside with what AJ has at stake in this, I think Cody has a lot at stake as well, because I feel like I don't know what his mindset is, but I feel like if I know Cody, he's interested in having a really great championship reign, and that includes a lot of great matches as well. So I'm wondering to see if like he's really going to go the distance with his match. This is the first time we haven't seen Roman as champion. He is now following up on Roman Reigns. How do we kind of like follow up on that? Not to say that he has to live up to that reign, because I don't think anyone will, nor anyone should. That shit was too long. But
Yeah.
I want to see how he carries himself with this reign. And with AJ, the chemistry can be hit or miss, especially considering they've never really faced each other one-on-one. So the chemistry can be hit or miss. So I'm kind of interested to see how this match actually goes. I feel like it could either be a long and plodding match or a real back and forth encounter. I want to see how this goes. This is Cody's first title defense. It's a big one. And yeah, let's see. I'm picking Cody to win, but I'm also looking forward to like, all right, what kind of reign are we getting from Cody with this one? You know?
Right. And I think he's gonna pull it off. I think it's gonna be great. I think it's gonna be a good show, and overall, I'm glad that it's not too long. It'll be airing at 10 a.m. where I'm at, so I'll be able to have the rest of my day by 12 p.m.
Amen.
And it'll be good. But I want to thank the man, the myth, the legend, Ampaveli, for being on the show with us today, man. Thank you so much.
Amen.
I appreciate y'all good brothers having me on.
Of
And
course, bro.
I really hope that what I said earlier does not come true and does not come into fruition for you with the whole Jack Perry and Tony Khan thing. But just know I'm praying for you, bro.
Well, if it doesn't work out, Jack Perry could be our new punter.
Amen.
All right, y'all. Thank you guys for listening to the A Show. Next week we'll have, of course, all of the aftermath of Backlash and whatever the hell else Tony Khan and AEW does this week. And until then, for Amp and Meelz, I'm Justin. Thank you guys for listening to the A Show, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace.